If you're working your butt off as a wedding planner, but you're not making the kind of income that you know you should be making, there's a good chance that you might be accidentally capping your own income without realizing it. And in today's video, I'm breaking down the 3 biggest ways that wedding planners accidentally limit their own earning potential. And I'll also show you how to fix them. Now, if you want my exact strategy for scaling and growing your wedding planning business into 6 figures and beyond, I'm walking you through this in a live training. You can grab your spot by going to CandiceCoppola.com/100K. Hey there, friend. Welcome back to my channel. I am Candice Coppola, your business BFF over here on YouTube, teaching you all things how to scale, start, grow your wedding planning business, and then also having discussions around wedding planning and design, giving you new and fresh ways to grow your wedding planning business and to serve your clients better than your competitors. And today we're talking all about how you might be accidentally capping your own income without even realizing it. As a business coach for wedding planners for so many years, one of the biggest questions that I get asked is, Candice, what should I be charging? Candice, why is my business not growing financially? And Candice, what can I do about this? It's one of the biggest struggles of being a wedding planner, but honestly, income potential and income growth is also one of the biggest hurdles as a business owner and an entrepreneur. When we start our business, we're so eager to get business, to get clients, to get our name out there, and to also start making money so we can invest it back in our business that we often cap our income from the get-go. And we can stay in this cycle of undercharging and undervaluing our work unless we snap out of it and we make conscious choices and steps to grow our business and our income. And that's one of the reasons why I'm so passionate about helping wedding planners and wedding pros, because I believe that your business should give back to your meaningful life. And I believe that you should not have income caps when it comes to your business. I want you to grow an incredible business that not only makes you money, but serves its clients really well. And today, like I mentioned, we're talking about how you might be accidentally capping your own income. So let's get into the 3 mistakes or the 3 things that I see wedding planners doing that make it difficult for them to scale and grow beyond where they currently are. The first mistake I see wedding planners making is pricing for your time and not your value. Raise your hand if you're doing this right now. If you feel like, oh yeah, I can see exactly where she's going with this mistake. I'm pricing based on the amount of time I think something takes me, not the amount of value that I bring to the conversation and to the wedding plans. Now, what you don't see often is wedding planners literally charging per hour. But what you do see wedding planners doing when they're thinking about their pricing is considering the number of hours that it might take for them to complete a task or to plan a wedding in general. And they use that as sort of a barometer, a compass, a guide to creating their pricing. So they think, okay, that'll take me 50 hours and my hourly rate's $50. So 50 times 50 is, and then here's my rate. They also sometimes look at their corporate job and say, I just want to replace that income. I just want to match what I'm making at my corporate job, my corporate salary. So if I just charge X per hour and I work this number of hours, I should be able to match my corporate job. All of that thinking is not right, but you're not wrong in thinking that way. So while I want to present to you a new way of thinking about pricing, the way that you did it seems logical, but it's capping your income, and you're doing this without realizing it. I know you don't want to cap your income, so this is a mistake you're making unintentionally. The reality is that when you run a business, there are so many things that you need to do that you're not factoring in to your price when you look at it, hours spent on wedding planning versus what you charge. Things like marketing, branding, website maintenance, education, networking, creating Instagram graphics, watching this video to grow your business. There's so many things that you do in the background that you're not factoring in to your price. You do more than just plan weddings. And I'm going to argue that actually your most important role isn't being a wedding planner. It's being a business owner. And that actually is what you should be writing on your immigration forms when it asks you, what's your career? Well, you own a business. That has to come first. And so you do so much more than just plan weddings. And you need to make sure that your business can sustain all the work that you're doing. Now, when we speak about unlimited, there's something that I want to just talk about really quick, because this is a mistake that so many wedding planners make. And I'm even guilty of making this mistake when I started my business. And it's capping your income by offering unlimited everything and pricing over time versus value. So too often I see planners offering unlimited calls, unlimited emails, unlimited revisions, unlimited meetings. And when you're offering unlimited everything or unlimited anything, you're also inviting and offering an unlimited workload. And I believe that there should be limits on what your packages, your services provide. And when we put limits on things, then we can manage our clients' event better. We can price ourselves accordingly, and scope creep doesn't overtake the work. Eventually, what you're going to find if you offer unlimited stuff is that your income gets stuck and you're constantly at the mercy of client demands, which is not a fun place to be. This first tip of capping your income, pricing for your time and not your value, is one of the first things that you need to change in order to scale and grow your income this year. I want you to think about it like this. Instead of pricing for your time, the time that you physically are doing things, I want you to think about time as a little bigger than just planning weddings. I want you to think about the years that you spent learning about how to work, learning about weddings, learning about office management, all the skills that you've acquired from the moment that you could start thinking for yourself until today. Your high school years, your college years, post-grad years, any job, whether you worked at an amusement park at the ticket counter, which is a job I had, or you were working in corporate America, maybe in a marketing department. All of that has led you to this moment in your life. And clients, sure, they're paying for your time, but they're paying for the value that you bring and the expertise you bring to the table. I like to say, you're not paying for an hour of my time when we jump on a coaching call. You're paying for 20 years of experience. And when you put it through that perspective, it completely changes how you think about charging for your time. So here is an action step for you to reverse this issue starting today. It's a quick and easy one. I want you to remove unlimited anything from your vocabulary, unlimited work, unlimited calls, unlimited emails, and restructure your planning packages so that they can focus on the results you provide and the years worth of experience that has brought you to this place, not the hours that you're spending emailing, researching, etc. And when you price based on value, it means the focus isn't on the number of hours that you're spending, but instead it's more about the quality of work and the transformation that you provide your clients. A stress-free wedding planning process, a beautiful wedding day, their mom staying out of their hair, grandma getting to and from places in her wheelchair, all that is worth way more than what you're charging. Now, the next mistake I see planners making is falling prey to hidden expenses and mega time wasters. Let's dissect. One of the things that I cover inside my 100K masterclass is actually how to keep the money that you're making. So make sure that you sign up for this masterclass. Go to CandiceCoppola.com/100K. This is one of the things I talk about because one of the quickest ways for you to make more money in your wedding planning business is to stop spending so much money. And too often I see wedding planners making decent money on paper. But as a business coach, when I actually look at what's left after all their expenses and all their time drains, there's really not a lot. And I know it's hard to look at your numbers and see that, to confront that. I see it all the time with women that I coach where they come to realize that they're spending way more than they're making, or they're spending every dollar that they're making. Now, there are a few sneaky things that are eating into your profits. Let's talk about them. One thing is constantly tweaking your website instead of actually marketing. I see wedding planners doing this all the time. They're constantly relaunching their website, they're tweaking it, spending so much time and effort in that noble task rather than putting themselves out there and marketing in big and bold ways on social media, using SEO, doing all the things that I've taught you on this channel and on my podcast. Another mistake is the just one more thing trap. So when clients keep adding tiny requests that aren't in the contract, and these time sucks, these time wasters adds so much scope creep to the work that you're doing that you're wasting so much time on these things that you're not getting paid for. Another is subscription overload. You are paying for so many things that you don't use, that you don't make the best use of, or that do the exact same thing, all because you are just trying to figure out a workflow instead of committing to something that works for your business. And I talk about this a lot in the 100K masterclass. In fact, I think systems are the secret to growing your business. Endless admin tasks, constantly working and focusing on administrative tasks rather than big picture tasks for your clients and for your business. So your action step in order to rein in hidden expenses and these time suckers, these time wasters, is to audit your time and audit your spending. You have to know, where is my money going? And are these investments, am I seeing a return on these investments? And am I seeing a return on my time invested? Now, the third mistake that I see wedding planners making that's absolutely capping their income is thinking more weddings are going to equal more money. Now, this seems logical. If you want to make more, just book more weddings, right? I mean, we just need more clients. And you might be at a stage in your career where you need to book a wedding. So this may not apply to you just yet, but once you start booking clients, you might just think, I need more, I need more, I need more. And so how, Candice, is this capping my income when booking out my calendar feels like was what I should be doing? If you're still charging too little, if you are not pricing yourself for profit, if you're pricing yourself into poverty, booking more weddings is actually going to make it harder for you to hit six figures. I know that sounds crazy, but it's true. More weddings equal more work. More weddings, more clients equals more work. And it also equals less time to raise your prices, to take on premium clients, to provide a premium level of service that you're probably trying to market or trying to market clients who want that. And eventually, you're going to burn yourself out. I see it all the time. I mean, this is a prediction that I can make with absolute certainty. If you continue to believe that more weddings is going to equal income freedom, you are going to burn yourself out. And you're also going to burn out your client experience. Your client experience is absolutely going to decline, and your clients are going to feel the effects of you being overworked and stretched way too thin. And you definitely can't raise your prices if you're providing a subpar experience. And clients are complaining or leaving bad reviews. I mean, the consequences of too many weddings and too much work is actually kind of scary. It can really affect your business. Also, somebody with a huge budget, somebody that you would be like, hell yes to, somebody with a huge budget who wants to book an entire wedding weekend with you, you're not going to be available because you booked out your calendar with some DIY, God bless their heart, DIY day of coordination wedding in someone's backyard with no tent, threat of rain, power being drawn from the house. You have to put together all these like kitschy, crappy wedding decor things, and it's literally a nightmare. Your action step here, instead of thinking about more weddings equal more money, is you actually need a real plan for hitting 100K. Because this plan is not going to work. You actually need to understand what your capacity is every year, how many clients you can take on, what your involvement is going to be in their wedding, and you need a solid strategy and a plan, which I'm going to give you a better way of going forward inside my masterclass, the 100K playbook. So go to CandiceCoppola.com/100K, go and sign up for this masterclass, because I'm breaking down 4 pillars that you need in your business in order to overcome some of these income gaps that you're experiencing right now. Now, I have a bonus tip that I want to offer, and this isn't something that is necessarily tangible. It's more about mindset. I often say when people join my mastermind, Wedding Pro Insiders, and we go through this whole deep dive into their business, I present them with a roadmap of how we're going to fix their problems. And we start with mindset, because in order to do all the things in your business, you have to be thinking right. You have to have the right mindset. And so this bonus tip is you have to fix your pricing mindset. In order for you to grow your income as a planner, You have to start thinking differently. And at the end of the day, if you want to stop capping your income, part of that strategy is going to be fixing your mindset. It's really hard to get to 100K if you don't think you deserve it and if you don't believe that it's possible for you. You're not going to do it. Part of growing your income is growing your mindset and believing that it's possible for you to hit the income goals that could change your life, could change the life of you, your family. If any of these sound familiar, then I think you need to really focus on your mindset. I'm scared to raise my prices because I think nobody's going to pay it. Or I feel guilty charging premium rates. Like, this is a lot of money. Or I don't think that anybody's going to pay my rates, so I'm going to keep my rates low to play it safe and have people on my calendar because, at least having some work is better than none. If any of that sounds familiar to you, then you probably need a two-prong approach here. You need to tweak some things and how you're doing some things in your business, but you also need to work on your mindset and believe that your income goals are possible and that you can actually charge maybe more money than you would ever spend on a wedding planner because there are clients out there who will pay it. Now, I just want to remind you, sign up for my masterclass. It's 100% free, and I'm going to walk you through my 4-part framework for growing your wedding planning business. Go to CandiceCoppola.com/100K to learn more, and I will see you there. Listen, friend, I believe that 6 figures should be the bare minimum for you this year, no matter where you're starting from. If you're just starting your wedding planning business, poof, you have just landed in the best place on YouTube to grow your wedding planning business. You're going to be so far ahead of somebody who's been in business for a few years, and you're going to start and build the foundation the right way. But if you've been a planner for several years and you just cannot get past this income ceiling, I truly believe it's possible for you, but you need to start doing things differently. All right, friend, thanks so much for tuning in to this week's video. If you've enjoyed it, do me a favor, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel. Leave me a comment below, questions, thoughts, if you'd like my opinion on something, and if you'd like me to create a video around a specific topic. I love hearing from you. All right, friend, I have linked to some videos here I think you should check out next, and I'll see you soon.